大家好，我是阿万，今天是2025年的10月30日，来看一篇技师道写的专栏观点文章。特朗普不只是输掉了与中国的贸易战。那计划就是在今天举行的中美峰会后，那特朗普总统是会吹嘘自己的判断技巧，其助手可能暗示他理应获得诺贝尔和平奖，但我建议你对此翻个白眼。好了，我翻了。当今世界最重要的双边关系是美中关系，而特朗普把它搞得一团糟，他发起了一场美国一直在输的贸易战。即便本周双方正式达成休战协议，也很可能是以中国掌握主动权、削弱美国影响力的形式收场。那今年4月，就是特朗普贸然宣布解放日关税政策时严重误判了形势。他似乎认为中国很脆弱，因为中国对美出口远大于进口。但他显然没意识到，中国采购的大豆等商品完全可以从其他地方获得，而中国如今已是稀土领域的欧佩克，美国根本没有替代来源。中国控制着全球约90%的一个稀土产量，还有6种重稀土的唯一供应国，同时在稀土磁铁市场占据主导地位。那稀土和稀土磁铁是现代工业的一个关键要素，无人机、飞机、汽车、风力涡轮机、众多电子产品以及大量的一个军事装备的制造都离不开它们。没有这些资源，美国部分工厂将被迫关闭，军事供应商也会受到严重影响。仅一艘潜艇就可能需要4吨的一个稀土。中国在国际争端中把稀土控制权变成武器是完全可预见的。2010年中国就曾对日本采取过同样的一个手段。那果然就是特朗普宣布解放日关税2天后，中国就宣布对部分稀土实施出口管制，并在本月大幅扩大了管制范围。所以说，很快中国国家习近平让美国陷入被动的局面就显而易见了。美国经济对中国稀土的依赖远大于中国对美国大豆的依赖。财政部长贝森特表示说，谈判代表已就中美贸易中达成的一个实质性框架。那若该框架落定，美国似乎将削减并取消关税，中国则会暂停最新的一个稀土出口限制，并恢复大豆采购。表面上看像是回到了贸易战前的状态，但实际上更像是我们主动发起冲突后投降，最终陷入更弱势的境地。这是因为这场争端就是会促使中国将稀土控制权作为武器，并将其作为长期施压美国的大棒。事实上，习近平主席若同意暂停稀土出口管制1年，将是一步高招，既能让中国保留对美的杠杆，又不会造成太大的混乱，导致美国及其他国家全力打破中国在稀土领域的一个近乎垄断的地位。那在上周末的一场会议，就是作者向满屋子的一个国际关系专家提问，请他们举手表态，谁认为美国在贸易战中将获胜？那谁认为中国获胜？谁认为尚难判断？那绝大多数都会认为说中国将获胜，且目前占据上风。那如今特朗普已经迫使中国将稀土用作武器，但美国根本无法快速找到替代来源。那多年来，无论是共和党还是民主党总统，都本应更努力的一个发展稀土矿山和精炼厂。加拿大大型矿业公司力量金属矿产首席执行官特里林奇告诉我，西方需要开展曼哈顿计划级别的行动来发展稀土产能，但即便如此，全力以赴也可能需要5到7年才能见效。那在这期间的话，我们将不得不与中国达成协议。那实际上，特朗普发起贸易战后很快就发现说自己的关税武器陷入了短兵相接的战场，这个贸易霸凌者意外陷入被霸凌的境地，于是开始 讨好中国并做出让步。那首先是降低关税，之后又威胁加征新关税，放宽对中国芯片的出口限制，在存在严重国家安全隐患的情况下，仍然允许 TikTok 继续在美国运行。那阻止台湾领导人访美，有报道称他推迟了对台军售。那正如美国进步中心所言，特朗普政府的对华政策正处于战略性失控状态，这正是对未来几年的一个担忧。习近平看清了弱点，明确了自己在双边关系中的优势，也明确了特朗普是在那种压力下会妥协的弱者，即便在安全问题上也是如此。所以说，由于特朗普背叛得罪了盟友，这些国家不太可能再与美国合作来对抗中国。习近平或许会暂停稀土限制1年，但是我认为他不会让美国建立稀土储备。美国企业企图就是获取稀土用于制造战斗机和潜艇的难度可能会加大。公平地说，在某些方面，习近平只是对美国采取以其人之道还治其人之身的做法。无论如何，暂停稀土出口许可1年，或许也只是为了提醒美国领导人还有其他国家，这些限制性是全球的，就是他们是多么脆弱。其目的可能是促使各方在台湾或者在新疆、西藏的一个人权指控等中国关心的问题上，采取更顺从的态度。那2500年前，伟大的军事家孙武在《孙子兵法》中写道：“百战百胜，非善之善者也；不战而屈人之兵，善之善者也。”这或许正是习近平的考量，借助中国获得新的贸易杠杆，在不发射一枚导弹的情况下，增强中国在西太平洋的一个军事影响力。习近平主席可能会明确或隐晦地限制稀土出口威胁，促使特朗普减少对台湾的支持，或缩减在南海的一个巡逻力度。若特朗普妥协，将是美国在亚洲的一个重大挫折，也是中国影响力的一个巨大提升。美国盟友会因为太平洋地区美国实力的削弱而心惊胆战。中国在台湾海峡发动侵略的风险也日益加剧。因此，当你听到特朗普及其助手吹嘘与中国达成里程碑协议时，别忙着喝彩。我们美国人可能不仅输掉一场贸易战，更可能在未来数年丧失大量全球信誉与影响力，这将被全世界视为美国衰退的先兆。读起来有点复杂的心情。Trump lost the trade war to China. After the United States-China summit planned for Thursday, President Trump may cross about his deal-making skill. A sign may suggest that he deserves a Nobel Prize for negotiation, but I invite you to roll your eyes. The most important bilateral relationship in the world today is between the United States and China, and Trump has bungled it. He started a trade war that Washington has been losing, and if a truce is formalized this way, it will likely be one with China holding power over America and leaving our influence diminished. When Trump recently announced his Liberation Day tariff in April, he badly miscalculated. He seemed to think that China was vulnerable because it exported far more to the United States than it purchased. He apparently didn't appreciate that much of what China purchased, like soya beans, it could get elsewhere. While Beijing is now the OPEC or rare earth manager, leaving us without alternative source. China controls about 90% of rare earth and is the sole supply of 6 heavy rare earth minerals. it also dominates rare earth minerals. Rare earths and rare earth minerals are essential ingredients of modern industry. They are necessary for the manufacturing of drones, automobiles, airplanes, wind turbines, many electronic and much military equipment. Without them, some American factories would close and military suppliers would be severely affected. A simple submarine can require 4 tons of rare earth. It was quite predictable that China would respond to an international dispute by weaponizing its control over rare earth, for that is what it did with Japan in 2010. Sure enough, 2 days after Trump announced his Liberation Day tariff, China announced export controls for some rare earths. It then greatly expanded the export controls this month. It soon became obvious that President Xi Jinping of China had asked over a barrel for the United States economy depends on Chinese rare earth far more than China depends on American soybeans. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the negotiators have now reached a substantial framework for a trade deal between Trump and Xi. If the framework holds, it appears that the United States would cut and cancel tariffs, and China will suspend its latest restrictions on rare earth mineral exports and resume soybean purchase. On the surface, that might look like a return to a status quo before the trade war, and it's more like our surrounding and ending up in a weaker position after a conflict we started. That's because the dispute that China to weaponize its control of rare earths and hold this over us identified it as a cudgel. Indeed, a 1-year suspension of export controls on rare earths would be a brilliant move by Xi, allowing Beijing to retain its leverage over the United States without causing such disruption that America and other countries would make all-out efforts to break China's near monopoly on the minerals. At a conference over the weekend, I asked a large room full of international relations experts for a show of hands who saw the United States was winning the trade war, who believed China was winning, and who saw it was too soon to tell. Overwhelmingly, people said China was winning and now holds the advantage. Now that Trump has induced China to weaponize rare earth, we don't have any rapid way of finding alternative sources. Republican and domestic presidents over the years should have worked much harder to develop rare earth mines and refineries. Terry Lynch, the chief executive of Power Metallic Mines, a major mining company based in Canada, told me that the West needs the Manhattan Project scale effort to develop rare earth capabilities, but that even such an all-out initiative would probably take 5 to 7 years to get results. In the interim time, we are going to have to make a deal with China, he said. In effect, Trump started a trade war and soon found that he was carrying a tariff to a knife fight. The trade bully unexpectedly found himself bullied, so he began to cut China and make concessions. Trump dialed back tariff before the threatening new ones. He eased rules on exporting chips to China. He allowed TikTok to continue to operate in the United States, despite serious national security concerns. He blocked a visit to the United States by Taiwan's president and reportedly delayed an arms sale to Taiwan. As the Center for American Progress put it, the Trump administration's approach to China is in a strategic free fall. That's what I worry about in the coming years. Xi sees our weakness. He has established that he has the upper hand in the bilateral relationship, that Trump is a weak one who will buckle under pressure, including on security matters. And because Trump has betrayed and antagonized allies, they are less likely to work with us in resisting Beijing. Xi may suspend his rare earth registration for years, but I doubt he'll let us build stockpiles. I suspect it will be more difficult for American companies to acquire rare earths to make fighter aircraft and submarines, and in fairness, Xi, in some respects, is simply doing the United States what we have done to China. In any case, a one-year suspension of rare earth licensing may simply be a way of reminding American leaders and others around the world for the restrictions were global of their vulnerability. Their aim, presumably, would be to induce more compliant behavior on issues Beijing cares about, from Taiwan to human rights compliance about Xi Jinping and Tibet. Sun Wu, the great military strategist, wrote The Art of the War 2,500 years ago. To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not an act of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the act of skill. And that may be what Xi has in mind, allowing China by its newfound trade leverage to project more military power in the Western Pacific without firing a single missile. Xi may explicitly and implicitly use the threat of limited rare earth exports to encourage Trump to dial down support for Taiwan or reduce patrol in the South China Sea. If Trump goes along with that, it would be an enormous setback for American invasion and being gay for Chinese influence. Our allies would shoulder at the thought of dismissing American power in the Pacific, and there would be a growing risk of Chinese aggression in the Taiwan Strait. So don't rush to applaud whatever triumphant announcements you may hear from Trump and his allies about a landmark deal with China. We Americans may have lost not just a trade war but a chunk of our global credibility and influence for years to come, in ways that would be seen globally as a harbinger of American decline. Thanks for listening. Hoping your life fully with happiness and joy, and have a very, very good day. Thank you.